All right, so just a quick explanation of the reading assignment from the other day. Want to make sure that you have correct answers so you can look back and see how you did. Obviously, the first ones are pretty simple. If you get these ones wrong, then we have some problems. Here, these are just ones just to see where you're at in terms of what you know about motion, specifically position and motion. And it said displacement is the distance an object moves along a path. After reading, you should be able to determine whether your answer was right or wrong. I have a strong disagree here. Distance is the length that an object's path travels, whereas displacement is that distance across that straight line. We would reference that around here as probably the distance that the crow would travel. Okay. Description of an object's position depends on the reference point. I would completely agree with that. You would need to say where you are in terms of that reference point. Name two ways you could describe your position right now. You know, anything that describes the direction and distance from a reference point. So I could say that I'm 2 feet to the south of my computer. I could say that I'm in relation to my bookshelf over here, I'm 4 feet to the left. So it's all determined by the reference point that you're looking at. Here, 2 reference points in the drawing on the top of page 2. The arrow shows the distances and directions from the different reference points. How do you know which one is farther? So we're talking about here, very simple. You just need to measure the distance of both of those lines, the length of both of those lines, and it's going to tell you which one is further. How does the description of an object's position depend on a reference point? An object's position is its distance in a direction from a reference point. Here, state the position of the museum relative to the library. So we have this here. So if these boxes are 20 and it goes over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 boxes, that's 120, and it's to the east of the library. And some of you may have put plus because that's what they were talking about here, that it's going in a positive direction rather than a negative direction. Next, 2 other examples of directions you can use besides north, south, east, west. I just put right, left, up, down. You could do over, below, next to. All of those are different ways that you can describe an object's direction as well. If the library is the reference point, how would you describe the position of your home in 2 dimensions? So they're talking about this here. And at first you have to travel in this direction, which is roughly southwest. And then to get to your house, you have to go northwest. And they were roughly 1 city block, so that's your distance. So you're going to the southwest 1 block and then 1 block northwest. How can you describe the position of an object in 2 dimensions? I wrote it can be described by choosing a reference point and 2 reference directions and then stating the distance along each reference direction. On page 4, it says using the buoy as a reference point, describe the motion of the boat. I thought that it was roughly a boat length, so that was my distance. I said that it was 1 boat length to the right of the buoy. You could also say it's 1 boat length positive of the buoy. This one right here, what is the difference between distance and displacement? We're just talking about those 2 definitions. I'm not going to read those. You guys know you can find those in your text pretty easy there. And then the last one, suppose the baseball player ran from home plate to third. What is its distance and displacement? Well, his distance, he ran all the way around each of those base paths. And this is wrong here. It should say 100, 90, let's see, that's 270 feet is what it's supposed to be because each base path is 90. And then his actual displacement was only 90 feet because that's the distance from third to home. So here again, this is the 270, and then that's the distance, that's the path he took, and then here is the actual displacement, which is only 90 feet. So there you are. Check yours over and see how you did.